Right, good morning.
Good morning, Jane. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So I'm over in Guildford and you are over in...
Oh, yes, I'm over in Campbell, California, middle of Silicon Valley. You can tell because that's a redwood.
Wow.
And so is that. And one of the back here, that one's also redwood. So definitely Northern California.
What's that lovely song? What's that singing?
Oh, we have birds. They're awake. We haven't killed them all yet.
So we've met through a community called Thought Space, where we kind of publish spheres quite often and share ideas. And recently, you commented on a post I'd written about some food I think I'd grown, something I'd grown.
Yes.
And
excited about that.
And you talked about your aquaponics.
Yes.
My screen's now gone completely off. Hang on, let's come back here. I'm here. Yeah, so aquaponics it's something I'd heard of but didn't know much about. And I thought, could you share some more stuff with us if we have a little video?
Sure. Well, this is my aquaponics garden behind me. This is the one I started with. It's the simplest design. It pretty much has a small growing bed directly over a fish pond. And that's a hole in the ground I dug comes about here on me. And it's the size of a grand piano, so about 800 gallons. I have about 20 fish in there, and they do their job, which is pooping, frankly. And then I pump water out, run it through this garden bed here. The plants suck out the ammonia from the water and keep the water clean, and the fish provide food for the plants. And at the moment, I've got some lemongrass and some strawberries in there. It's kind of fallow, to be honest. So that was my first adventure into aquaponics. And then I, let's see if I can, I built this bed a year later. And then to handle the solids waste, I built this filter stack. That's a swirl filter and a biofilter. So yeah, that's my experience so far. I've grown about 40 different plants over about 10 different seasons so far. And I haven't been writing anything down, so I guess I'm just messing around.
Mm. And could anyone get started with what you're doing?
Yes, I recommend starting small. My system is built the same way the Egyptians built the pyramids, which is to say, from the ground up. They come in tabletop sizes. You can probably put a system like that on a balcony of an apartment. But yeah, then I got a little serious and built this. This is my greenhouse. So I'm not a very good camera person. Uh-oh, I have problems here. But these are PVC pipes. I've got plants growing in them. I pump the water out from the floor and run it through, and I've got more growing beds on the floor. So this system I just built probably a month ago. Nothing's really growing in it yet.
Amazing.
So
wow.
Yeah,
it's very complex.
Yeah, I started with the one up front before I got crazy like this, and I would recommend anybody who wants to try, start small as well. But the reason I did it is because in California, we had a severe drought and it didn't rain for a few years. So I was concerned about the food supply. And this system obviously recycles all the water endlessly. And I've run the system up front through a summer without recharging the water for about 6 months at a time. So I was very pleased with that. And this scale should be able to feed a family in the case that the grocery store conks out. So that's kind of the plan. And then the step up from here would be to grow an industrial farm and actually start selling food, make a profit on it. But don't start there. Learn as you go.
Wow. And do you write and do you blog about what you're doing? Do you publish?
No, this is the first thing I've actually mentioned. I've posted a few pictures on Facebook. That's about it. So all my friends know I'm doing it. Nobody else does.
I think a lot of people haven't heard of it, to be honest. It's something quite unknown, yet so powerful to get going and growing with it. I guess for most of us, we should be thinking about doing what you're doing.
It is niche. The problem why it's not so popular is it does not scale up to the industrial level. I mean, can you imagine 40 acres of this? That's hundreds of thousands of dollars just in PVC pipe alone. Nobody's going to do it. So it doesn't scale past pretty much this level here. Maybe one more greenhouse and that's it. There's
so
some. Pardon?
So it's essentially a self-contained smallholder, a self-contained farm, isn't it? A sustainable food system.
Yeah, it's a circulating ecosystem between the fish and the plants. So they support each other and everything just loops back and forth. Okay. So it's very low maintenance, except for the plumbing. The biggest problem is leaks. You know, I lose a lot of water, which is why the floor of this thing is one giant slip and slide. So everything can leak on the floor and I don't care. It's all recovered.
So if we wanted to find out more and connect with you, and sort of, I know Colin Horner in the Thought Space community is very keen to have a conversation with you. And where could we connect with you if people aren't involved with the Thought Space community?
Oh, well, I tend to live on Facebook, but I'm trying to move to minds.com. And they're building several new avant-garde social media platforms such as Threefold and Voice that I'm very interested in. So I will be active there. I'm trying to post more videos to YouTube, but maybe I have 3 or 4 on this topic. I have email. Yeah, the orbit mechanic at protonmail.com. I'm on all the time. Okay. Yeah, lots of ways to get a hold of me.
Fantastic. So we can add those afterwards, can't we? Put them into the links, etc., into the the content, etc. Okay. Certainly. Well, it's been a very random dialogue about aquaponics with Bob in California, and we look forward to more conversations with you and finding out more about how we could get involved and where we could start and get them going in our gardens. I'm sure many people will be fascinated by this. Thank you very much for sharing and for joining me today.
Well, I'm no good for digging at your place, but I'd love to help with advice and tips. So, sir, call me anytime. It was great meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you.